Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today, and this time we're going to be looking at personalized corporate gifting.
Oh, very cool.
It's something that I think a lot of people think is kind of cheesy and not really that effective.
Yeah, just kind of like a throwaway thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a branded pen or a stress ball, enjoy.
Right, right.
But we're going to be looking at it through a different lens today. We're going to be exploring how it can actually be a powerful tool for building those lasting business relationships and even shaping a positive company culture.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I've always felt like those generic gifts, they kind of miss the mark.
Totally. They end
Yeah.
up in the back of a drawer or in the trash.
Exactly.
But when a gift is truly personalized and thoughtful, it can really make someone feel seen and valued.
Absolutely. And that can have a ripple effect on the entire relationship.
Exactly. So to guide our deep dive today, we're going to be referencing a blog post from Lovingly Signed. They're a company that specializes in personalized corporate gifts, and they make a pretty compelling case for why this approach can be so effective.
Makes sense. They're the experts.
Right. And one of the things they emphasize is how personalized gifts can actually strengthen the personal bonds between, let's say, a company and its clients.
Mm,
It goes beyond just maintaining that professionalism. It's about fostering a genuine sense of connection and appreciation.
I like that. It's more human.
Yeah, and they even share an anecdote from their CEO, who actually used this approach early in her career as a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
She made it a point to connect with clients on a personal level, remembering birthdays, sending gifts to celebrate milestones like a new baby, those kinds of things.
That's a great example. It shows that she cared beyond just the business transaction.
Right. And it probably helped her stand out from other lawyers who were just focused on the legal stuff.
For sure. And it makes me think of the principle of reciprocity. It's a fundamental aspect of human behavior.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, when someone receives a thoughtful gift, especially one that feels personal, they naturally feel a sense of obligation to return the favor.
It's kind of like an unspoken rule.
Exactly. And that creates a kind of invisible bond between the giver and the receiver.
Interesting. So you're saying that by giving a personalized gift, you're actually strengthening the relationship in a way that goes beyond just the exchange of goods.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of mutual appreciation and goodwill.
And I bet that can have a big impact on business because people are more likely to do business with people they like and trust.
Absolutely. It's all about building those relationships.
And that's something that Lovingly Signed really emphasizes in their blog post. They talk about how personalized gifts tap into our sense of identity.
Right. It's like saying, we see you as an individual, not just another client or employee.
Yeah. And that feeling of being seen and understood can have a huge impact on how people feel about a company.
It's like the difference between getting a mass email and a handwritten note.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One feels personal, and the other feels like just another marketing blast.
And people can tell the difference.
They can, for sure. So it sounds like personalized gifting is about more than just giving stuff. It's about creating a connection and making people feel valued.
Absolutely. And that's something that can benefit any business, big or small.
So we've been talking a lot about the impact on client relationships. But what about internal gifting? How companies treat their employees.
That's a great point, because company culture is just as important as client relationships.
Right. And I think the same principles apply. You want to make employees feel appreciated and valued, not just like cogs in a machine.
Exactly. And personalized gifts can be a great way to do that.
It's like saying, we see you, we appreciate your hard work, and we care about you as an individual.
Exactly. And that can go a long way in boosting morale and creating a more positive work environment.
So it sounds like this approach is not just about attracting new clients, but also about retaining top talent and creating a culture where people actually want to come to work.
Precisely. It's about investing in your people both internally and externally.
And I think that's something that a lot of companies are starting to realize, that investing in relationships is just as important as investing in marketing or product development.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
So we've talked about the positive relationships aspect, but I'm curious to hear more about the business case for personalized gifting.
Sure. Well, one of the things that Lovingly Signed argues is that these kinds of gifts can actually increase brand visibility in a way that traditional marketing just can't replicate.
Okay, I can see how that might be true.
Yeah.
People are more likely to remember a thoughtful gift than a generic ad.
Exactly. And they gave this really vivid example in their blog post. They talked about a baby grow they created for Hilton hotels that says, "I am a Hilton baby."
I love that. It's so cute.
Right. And it's also really clever marketing. Because imagine that baby wearing that out in public. It's basically a walking billboard.
It's creating positive brand associations in a way that a traditional ad just couldn't achieve.
Exactly. It's subtle but effective.
And it's not in your face, like a lot of advertising can be.
Right. It's more about creating a positive experience that people will associate with the brand.
So it's not just about slapping a logo on something. It's about creating something that people will actually want to keep and use.
Exactly. And lovingly highlighted other real-world examples too, like creating bundles for Accenture with their logo and slogan subtly incorporated. It's all about finding creative ways to weave the brand into people's lives in a positive and memorable way.
I'm starting to see how this can be really powerful. It's
Yeah.
not just about giving stuff. It's about creating an experience.
Exactly. And it's about choosing gifts that are aligned with the company's values and brand identity.
It has to be authentic, not just random goodies thrown together.
Absolutely. It's about nurturing those connections and reminding ourselves of the importance of human interaction in a world that's often focused on transactions and efficiency.
That's such a powerful thought. Discovering the importance of human connection in a world that's becoming increasingly digital and disconnected.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's about remembering that behind every transaction, every interaction, there are real people with real lives and real emotions.
And personalized gifting can be a powerful way to acknowledge that human element, to bridge the gap between the digital and the physical, and to remind ourselves that we're all connected in some way.
Absolutely. And I think that's a beautiful thought to leave our listeners with. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of personalized corporate gifting, I'd encourage you to reflect on this idea of human connection.
I love that. And maybe even think back to a time when you received a gift that truly touched you. What made it special? How did it make you feel towards the giver? Could this be something you can incorporate into your own life, whether it's in your business, your career, or even just your personal relationships?
Those are great questions to ponder. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this insightful exploration of personalized gifting. I hope it's given you some food for thought and maybe even inspired you to incorporate some of these ideas into your own life.
Thank you for guiding us through this deep dive with your expertise and insights. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time for another fascinating deep dive into a topic that matters.